Hello, Christina Rizzo. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you're having a very happy Tuesday due to some great news from our federal government. As you heard, I heard about it this morning from the Charlie Kirk show, and I didn't get to watch all of it because, of course, liberals are triggered, and including CNN. We got protests outside of the Capitol building, so just let them be triggered. Now, as much as I would like this to happen, it may overturn, but not in all 50 states. So, for example, New York most likely won't ban uh, the abortion laws. So, but it's a good start. The kids that were terminated over the nearly or close to 50 years will finally get justice and get to dance with Jesus. It looks like it is going to happen. The justices, including Clarence Thomas and Amy Barrett, they're devout Catholics, so I'm not surprised that their vote in the total was 7-2 against Roe v. Wade. Now, as much as people want to get triggered over this, whatever you do in the dark always comes in the light. You can't do a wrong thing the right way. You can't. Okay? So that's like you take from someone, okay, you said, well, I'm gonna steal $50 from this person, take it from their purse or wallet, and then I'll just when I get paid next week, I'll just put it back. Well, first off, the person will recognize that their possession, his or her, excuse me, possession is missing. And secondly, you're not justifying it by stealing. I mean, stealing is stealing. The same with lies. A lot of parents really, I mean, if you do this, that's okay with you. I can't tell you how to raise your children, but I don't think it's right to lie to your children about Santa Claus. The same reason you don't want your child lying to you ever, then you shouldn't lie to them. I mean, it's all about setting an example, and I'm just speaking about this as a teacher, a former teacher. I'm taking a break from teaching right now. So if you are educators out there, happy Teacher Appreciation Week. So keep working hard, and I know it's not easy. I'm for those that are teaching children the right stuff, like math, how to trace and color, reading, English, social studies, not all this woke stuff that you add in addition to your class. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the real teachers that know their jobs. Okay. So, with the case of termination pregnancy, there's been over, what was it about? Out of the 65 million, again, those kids would get justice. Um, Unfortunately, uh, abortion is the biggest genocide in Black America. So out of the 55 million were Black children that were terminated. And, it's really unfortunate. And Black Americans should get triggered because what people don't understand, I had to share this with a lady at work and trying to justify, even though she says she's pro-life and she's a Christian. I mean, I don't know. I mean, only Jesus knows her heart, okay? I had to tell her Margaret Sanger's intent of starting Planned Parenthood in the first place. She has this famous quote, and I actually showed her that about terminating the Negro population. That was her goal. And I don't know if Black Americans or any other Americans like this lady is that ignorant not to know that. Well, and if you don't know, I'm glad to share it with you. This was not about a woman's right, or if she's been violated sexually, or if a family member, she was in an inappropriate sexual relationship with a family member. First off, that's not usually the reason women terminate their pregnancy. Secondly, that wasn't the original intent, of having abortion laws in the first place. So Margaret Sanger, clear as day, she's even have a picture of herself with the Klan, specifically stating, this is the first quote I showed this woman, that her goal with the eugenics and genocide, so she was like a female Hitler. That's the best I can describe her. Is to terminate the socially, how does she phrase it? I may be misquoting the term. Uh, Outcasts. Okay, so anyone non-white, including Jews and blacks, were definitely on the top of her list. That's why she mentioned about exterminating the Negro population. And she really got her goal to a certain degree. And wherever she's perishing, and I can't question where only Jesus knows where she is. But I'm pretty sure, as they say this term, rolling in your grave, really, when, bodies is a shell. They really can't move once you die because your soul lives forever somewhere, either with Jesus, um, celebrated, or condemned in hell with Satan and his angels, fallen angels, but to be exact. So as a result, you can't do a wrong thing a right way. So as we, went along in the years, okay, these ladies now that's screaming to the person in the top of their lungs. I think I only saw one black woman out there. And as hard headed as she may be, hopefully she comes across this video. It's not good for any woman of any, don't get me wrong. Um, Children of babies of any race are made in the image of God. But for blacks, particularly in these urban areas where Planned Parenthood is mostly built, and you have access because you don't think you can feed the child, even though you have access to government assistance that can help you, or there's adoption agencies, there are ministries that can help you, and you decide not to give this life a chance. So, as a result, bottom line, they do this, because they're covering a sin that they committed, that they chose to engage in, and that's usually the case. Even if you're slightly, what is the word on that, disoriented, like at a party where you've had to, you consumed too much drugs and alcohol. Um, is that consensual? Sometimes you can consent when you're in those conditions. Now, if a man takes advantage of that, if she's passed out or whatever, then yes, that's a crime. But usually in those situations, or even if it's something casual with let's say a boyfriend, whomever, um, and she gets pregnant, of course, the pregnancy will eventually get exposed. So she's gonna hide that sin by terminating her pregnancy. But that's what it is. You're covering your sin. Just like the example I gave with the thief. Covering his sin by adding money that he already took and replacing it with the same amount, excuse me, instead of just politely asking if you needed anything. Because you definitely don't need to steal from me. The worst thing I can say is no, and you just have to deal with it. Um, there was an earlier, one black lady YouTuber that was triggered. What advice, if you're pro-life, that do you have for black women in particular? The same thing I would tell any other woman. Just say no. Till you're married, you're a Christian, make sure he's a godly husband, or in the future you'll make a godly husband. You do things God's way, the result always has a happy ending. Christina Resso, thanks for tuning in. Pray for our nation. And definitely pray to stay on our knees that um, this sin for so many years gets overturned. Pray for our brothers and sisters also in the persecuted church globally. Only God knows what they're going through as well. Talk to you super soon.